gone live in a week. 2 weeks.
Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuri. Hyphy, get lit just like me. Big bossed up, chop it up with Riley. You better come with it or kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to 10 Talks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to 10 Talks.
Stressful start. Yes, very stressful. Boom. What's up, guys? How's it going? Thank you guys so much for joining episode 49 of 10 Talks.
I thought it was 59.
59, sorry. Episode 59 of 10 Talks. Is it 59? God damn it. I'm sorry if the fucking energy's just not here today, guys. My attitude just ruined. They got the N-word scrolling. No, I missed all you guys. All right, what's up, guys? We're here for episode 59 of 10 Talks. I don't know. I don't even have anything I really want to say, but I just wanted to say that I apologize to any new Patreons or anything like that have joined and your names is not did not fly through the screen in the beginning. I have not updated that shit in like 2 weeks, and I'm super sorry for that. I just haven't had the chance, but I'm gonna do updated this week for sure. I feel like we might as well just close the Patreon because we don't do anything with it. We don't add any content or anything.
Jeez Louise. Okay, let's stop with this negative energy.
I'm being serious.
I know, but let's.
That's the point of a Patreon.
I understand that, but you started off upset right now. Let's just chill and try to have a good night.
I'm just letting the people know that the purpose of a Patreon is to produce content. I'm just saying that if we're not making content on it, we might as well shut it down.
Yeah, I understand.
But either way, Milk is in the chat. Happy, what's it called? Super Bowl day to everyone.
Super Bowl Sunday. Super
Bowl Sunday to everyone. Riley and I freaking entered some what's it called? The gambling thing. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it was. Basically,
it's the Square game that a lot of people play during the Super Bowl, and it's pretty much a piece of paper where you put your name on a random square and you bet a couple bucks with like a whole group of people, and I think it's determined by like the score at the end of each quarter, and like whoever is on the box of the points wins the money. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
this is why I don't like gambling, and this is like kind of just proves my point even further that like all my coworkers the other day were trying to convince me, oh, that gambling is so cool and gambling is so much fun, blah blah, and then everyone gets in on this Super Bowl like gambling thing or whatever, right? Riley and I both chip in $10 each. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what to keep track of. I don't even know who's playing. I thought multiple teams were playing. I didn't know it was just two teams. And then basically...
You've never seen a Super Bowl ever?
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I don't care about football, and I especially don't care about gambling. But when I say I don't care about football, I mean it. I don't retain any information about it because I don't care about it at all.
Neither do I. But there's every year there's a Super Bowl party that people have, and I've just been to them, but I don't know anything about football.
I put that.
Nor do I watch the game.
I put things like that into this box in my head of like that's stuff rich people do, and I just forget about it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm rich.
No, really? What?
Like I'm
not talking about you. I'm talking about the Super Bowl, bro. I'm talking about Super Bowl shit. I'm talking about that shit rich people do. Go watch the Super Bowl and do all that stuff. I don't know. But
okay. I think there's a lot of people who aren't rich who watch the Super Bowl.
It's $6,000 for a parking spot.
You can watch it for free at home. You don't have to go to the Super Bowl to watch it. You know that.
Okay. But I was talking about actually going to the Super Bowl. But anyways.
No shit. Nobody's allowed or able to go to the Super Bowl unless you're fucking rich and famous, pretty much.
The point I was getting to is this little thing that we did with the where we put in $20 on this. I don't even know what it is, dude. It's like a gambling sheet of like whoever.
It's a pool.
It's a pool. There you go. Yeah, bro. Biggest waste of money ever. I don't know what the hell happened. We just lost $20. It's like there's other things you can do that like I feel like I'd way rather I don't know, bet like on a horse race where you get to see like, oh man, no, I have a chance of winning, or like you get to see some action. You know what I mean? Like, well, actually, I guess I could have watched the football game.
Exactly.
But I don't care about. I should have just said no to the whole thing of even.
It's whatever.
I know. I know.
It was $5 each. It was $10.
I thought it was 20.
No.
I sent them 20.
Damn.
God damn it.
You got played.
I sent them $20. It was $10, bro. Yuri's vibes are way off. I know. But
yeah, Yuri's angry.
I'm never gambling again, and I don't promote gambling. It sucks, bro. It's like I don't know. I'd rather you know what's really fun for me? I'm not sure if I think it falls under the same like lane as gambling, but carnival games. It's like you're spending like what $5 to try to get this giant stuffed monkey or something like that, and it's like, yeah, you technically are gambling, but you get to have the fun of like throwing a ring around a bottle or like shooting a fucking target or something like that. You get like some fun out of it.
Yeah, but you usually lose those games too.
Yeah, but you always have the fun. You always get to do the thing. And like with a lot of gambling stuff, it's kind of like you just give them your money and then you're like, did I win? Mm-hmm. No, dang it. Did I win? No, dang it. So then like I don't know. It's just I don't understand it.
That's true.
It's such a weird mentality. It's like, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that just sound dumb, and then you're like, I don't understand why people do this. But then there's people do that shit for a reason. I don't know. But either way,
never been a gambler myself, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, me neither. What the hell was I going to talk about? I feel like we should talk. I think we already did talk a lot about this yesterday because we did a live stream yesterday. But
some people weren't watching that probably.
Yeah. I think maybe some people weren't a part of the stream yesterday. But I just wanted to give an update on. Dude, I feel like maybe I should just save this for today instead of talking about it yesterday. But yeah, I wanted to give an update on what exactly has been going on, why we haven't gone live in like 2 weeks, why we missed an episode of 10 Talks and everything. It's basically because I had a death in the family. My sister passed away like about 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to take a break from everything. It's been fucking super difficult and crazy. But honestly, I feel like I've already said a lot of stuff multiple times. Like I talked about it on Disconnected, and I talked about it yesterday as well. But the one thing I do want to talk about, that was kind of going through my head was. A lot of people were reaching out, and I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's reaching out with like positive thoughts and all that stuff. But one thing I noticed was like, dude, I had a lot of people reaching out telling me like, hey, I just had my mom pass away. Hey, I just had my dad pass away. Hey, I just lost two siblings. Hey, like, and I started hearing all these stories of like other people who have gone through traumatic ass shit. You know what I mean? And then they're like, just kind of like. They don't have like the community of support like I do. You know what I mean? Like I had so many people reaching out with positive vibes and trying to be helpful and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking about like there's so many people out there that are going through similar shit that don't have that privilege of like having multiple people worry about them or care about them and all that stuff. So I wanted to give not really a shout out, but some sort of acknowledgement and like praise, not even praise, but like to anyone else out there who recently has lost a family member or has ever lost a family member. I just want to give my prayers out to you guys as well, because this shit is definitely the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life, and it's like
no other.
Exactly. And it's like I feel so lucky that I had, you know what I mean, like Riley being hella helpful, my family being nearby me, my job being supportive, and then you guys in the chat and then on the Instagram being hella supportive and nice and everything. So I had like a lot of like, love and support, but I can imagine that some people out there they're dealing with the shit on their own. You know what I mean? Like just they might just have one friend or two friends they might talk to about the shit. So
people were even hitting me up, like saying, like, I'm so sorry for you and Yuri's lost, da 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 da. And I was like feeling guilty. It's just, I'm like, dude, like I don't need this love and support. It's like send this to Yuri. Like, it's just crazy how much love we have from the people who watch, and we don't even know them like that.
Exactly.
And they just, they love us like that.
And honestly, it's like the one message you kind of get sometimes, like in like traumatic times, is like you'll hear people say like, don't be afraid to reach out. You know what I mean? I got you on whatever, blah blah. And then I don't know. It's like it's a good faith thing to say. You know what I mean? But like, Is there ever a situation in which you reach out and you're like, do I need like
I have.
really? Like what? Like you need money or something like that?
No, like just emotional support. Like you just need to talk to somebody. Like
That's the thing with me is
it's like a lot of the time I'm like, fuck no, I'm not calling anybody like during this hard time. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. But then I remember like my family or my sister saying like, literally whenever you need me, like I'm there for you. And it's like, if they needed me too, I'd be there for them. So it's like, why shouldn't I give them a call?
Yeah, that's true.
You
but
know?
but I'm thinking about more about like strangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
no,
the people
not
that you don't know too well.
strangers, really.
And like I always think about that. Like I feel like that's why me personally, I'm not for therapy. Like I don't really like think therapy works. You know what I mean? Like, and that's because I think it's weird that you gotta pay some stranger to care about your feelings. In my mind, therapy is a real thing and therapy does help, but therapy comes from people that care about you and are willing to listen to you, not for $100 an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think therapy is cool because you can actually talk about the dark shit that you're not even down to talk about with your closest family member.
You could talk about whatever you want. That guy's getting paid $100 an hour to listen.
Well, but they have a lot of educational background and experience to know how to guide you in that information. I've done therapy, so like I know like it does help like in certain ways. Like when you're going through certain shit in your life, there's different therapists that
specialize.
Yeah, exactly. Specialize in certain areas, and they could be that's all they know. That's their main emphasis on their degree. So they are the ones to help you. Like we were watching that movie yesterday, the fucking therapist there. Like she's a stranger to that girl, but they have such a good connection. And Bree obviously trusted her with everything. Like it's just nice to have a random person who doesn't know your whole life before you tell them your whole life.
I think the opposite.
I don't know.
Actually,
I
kind of agree because with some friends they can have like these thoughts about you, like
there's already
they already like they think like, oh, Riley's this type of person, or Yuri's this type of person, like immediately. So when you talk to a new person, you kind of do get like a fresh breath of thing, but of air, like of perception. But also it's like I feel it's weird to talk to someone who you don't know about personal things. The only person if I rarely have this thing where I'm like, I need to talk to someone because I like to think in my brain to myself more. But like if I ever get in a situation where I'm like, oh man, like I need therapy or I need to talk to someone, I'm probably gonna call one of my childhood friends or my mom or someone I know, and I'm gonna be like,
what's
hey,
your childhood friends gonna say? I'm sorry, bro.
That's not true. I've had very deep conversations with some of my childhood friends, and that's why I feel like they became my childhood friends, because we would talk very deeply about all types of shit. You know what I mean? Like we would have just long discussions. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I would just hit up one of them and be like, yo,
you're lucky. That's cool.
But I feel like it's weird to pay someone to care. You know
I
mean?
thought so too, but then I honestly the first like 2 sessions were super awkward, and I was like, maybe we're just not a good fit together. But then like by the 3rd session, like I had like my little breakthrough, I guess, and I don't know, you just start it's awkward, like I don't know how else to explain it. It's weird just to like have an hour where you're just like talking about random shit with somebody who doesn't know anything about you, but then they're trained to make you realize the way you're thinking and the way you are is because certain different reasons in your life.
Yeah.
And like that kind of shit is really cool to have.
You could figure that stuff out for yourself too.
Okay,
though.
never mind. Sorry.
You can continue your thing without shutting down. I'm just saying that, like, what if they're telling you something wrong? Like, what if they're doing some placebo type effect where they're telling you like, oh, this all stems from your father because your father is like this and blah blah blah, and then you're like,
but it could be from your father.
But then in your mind you start emphasizing your dad, and then you don't even realize like, oh wait, my mom was doing this to me my whole life. I didn't even think about that, or something like that.
They talk about your mother too. It's not like just one thing. Like,
okay, this is turning into me like trying to discredit
I know,
therapists,
and we're just debating.
So I'm not trying to discredit therapy, because I know therapy does work for some people, but I'm just saying it's hard for me.
Not your thing.
It's hard for me to get past the idea of paying someone to care about you, because that seems disingenuous. That doesn't seem like honest honest therapy.
That's why you have to figure out your therapist.
Especially the prices.
There's gonna be people who you don't mix well with. My aunt told me that she's been through like a lot of different therapists, and like some people like.
That's a lot of money, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money to find someone who cares, like who like will listen to you and you like can get along. Like
It's
a lot
ridiculous.
of people, dude. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Luckily now that if you're on like healthcare with your job and shit, there's a lot of hospitals that offer it for free. But
oh really?
I did like private sessions because my hospital didn't offer it. I don't think.
For like how long? Like an hour?
Yeah, for like an hour, and I only did it for a month. But
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm not sure if I talked about this before, but I have been in therapy before when I was a kid, right? And that's one of the reasons why I extremely dislike therapy is because there was a lot of things, but like one thing in specific is I was a little kid, and this is when Dragon Ball Z was like the highlight of my life. I was fucking watching every new episode of Dragon Ball Z. I loved the series. I was super into Goku and everything in there. And if you watch Dragon Ball Z, you'll see that it's all about fighting. It's all about I'm fighting this enemy, and like it's all about fighting and martial arts. And a lot of times they'll do this screaming thing where they're like like to power up and
Super Saiyan.
yeah, like the Super Saiyan shit. And I remember a couple times I would fucking go into therapy. I was like a little ass kid, and the therapist would be so fake. They'd be like, oh, I just want to make this a comfortable environment. I just want you to feel so at home. Blah 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 blah. Here, take this piece of pen and paper and just draw something. And they make you feel so comfortable and open, right, to do anything you want. And then I fucking started drawing Dragon Ball Z. I started drawing Goku like screaming, trying to go Super Saiyan. and then she does this thing where at first she's like, oh, be open and be this blah blah. I want to see like what you can do. And then I show her the artwork, and then she goes, Yuri has anger issues. Yuri's drawing a fucking guy screaming, so Yuri's been dealing with this, blah, 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 blah. And then I hear her saying all her, like, synopsis of what the fuck she thinks about me, and I'm like, what a bitch. I'm like, you just had me open up to you so you can then judge me to fucking tell other people about what the fuck you think about me. I'm like, no,
You're not
fuck
supposed to do
you,
that.
bro. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with
That's
that
not
shit.
supposed to happen. They're supposed to be
It was whack,
confidential.
bro. I did not fuck with therapists at all.
But you do know that a lot of your personality does stem from your childhood and like shit that's happened in your childhood. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I've seen other people talk about their therapy sessions, and they're just like, yo, all therapists are the same. You go in there, talk about their problems, and they say,
That's
so
not true.
what do you think is the stem of these issues? They just ask you these basic ass fucking second
That's
grade
not
questions
true,
where you're
though.
like,
There's so many different types of therapies and therapists that you can't say that all therapists are the same.
okay, yeah, I'm not saying all therapists are the same. Get back to my point. It's weird to pay to someone to care, is what I'm saying, I guess. But I don't want to discredit therapists because
I feel like it's helpful.
it's a popular thing for a reason. But they get paid too much money, bro. Like, why the
Some
fuck?
people do. Some
Why do you get
therapists
paid? Why do you need
don't.
$200 an hour? No,
I don't know.
that's crazy.
It is crazy. I think there should definitely be cutbacks on. It should be open to and available to everybody if it's so needed by everybody too. Everybody should get it at a free cost, but
I can almost envision a world.
I do think it's beneficial. In some cases, it is beneficial.
Yeah,
Some
no.
people do really need it.
No, yeah, I agree. But I can almost envision a scenario in which a person is like slightly not a lot of people are rich. I mean, a lot of people don't have savings account, and I can imagine a person getting in a situation where they're like, "Damn, I really need some therapy, but I don't got a savings account. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Oh, let me put a little bit of money aside so I can go get some therapy, right?" And then you're paying some therapist $100 to $200 an hour. He's driving home in a Maserati, and you're pulling up to him in a fucking old Corolla, like broken, depressed, and he's leaving in a fucking Maserati home.
Okay, but your boss drives a nice car.
I'm not
Is he a
asking him for
dickhead?
emotional help.
But is he a dickhead? No, he's nice to you.
Okay, I know, that's not-
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about it as like kind of like preying on the poor type shit.
You think
Almost.
everybody's preying on the poor? Not everybody's preying on the poor, babe. Some people will actually genuinely want to help people.
That's rare, I feel like.
Some people go through the same shit you're going through, and they don't want kids to feel the way that you felt,
That's
and they want to help other people.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
you have to like think about that kind of shit and think about people who've been through shit like similar to you or even worse cases. And they're like, I'm not going to let any other kid fucking feel like this. Like, I want to help anybody else.
No, that's true, because I remember I had this, I think I told you about him. I had this old neighbor. I don't want to say his name, but super smart guy, always been hella smart. He fucking developed a drug abuse issue, right? And then he overcame his drug abuse issue over a period of time. And then instead of, we all, everyone who knew him, we all assumed that he would just like kind of leave the drug shit behind and like focus on like a new life or whatever. But he completely dedicated his life to becoming like I'm not sure if it's a therapist, but like a drug counselor for other addicts.
There you
and
go.
Then he now, his career path is helping other people that were once in his shoes. And I was like, that's an interesting way.
Sponsors, people who
like,
sponsor like alcoholics and drug addicts, and like they try to get them on their like straight path. Like those are people who've been through the same situation, been at their lowest points, and they just want to help other people get sober too. So there are people out there who genuinely care about other people.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of shitheads who just want their money and like they don't really give a fuck. So I understand where it's like I understand why people are anti-therapy, and I understand why people want help too and like benefit from the help. It's a division thing.
I feel like not just with therapy, but my approach towards things like is usually I look to see if it's like anything scammy is going on first or funny.
Yeah, you have to
like,
find the right
I
person.
always like look for funny business first, and then I'll go like, okay. When I feel like with a lot of businesses, they're good at like making you feel comfortable, where you walk in, you're like, this is a chill environment to conduct this type of business, blah blah, and then they trick you into lowering your guard down, into like looking at like what exactly is going on, like you know what I mean, like, is this a good business, what's your score, like how many, what does your past client say about you, like all this shit. But I don't
even know how did we get here.
Oh yeah, we were basically talking about therapy for some reason.
I know we were talking about therapy, but
it was coming back from
people reaching out to you.
Oh yeah, for people reaching out to me and me just I wanted to say that for anyone out there that is in those shoes that I was describing, where like you're going through something traumatic such as like that or anything else, and you feel like you really have no one to talk to, like don't be scared to hit me up, you know what I mean, or something like that, or Riley up, or some shit, and just ask, you know what I mean, like just talk, like just talk or something like that, just ask. And if we don't get back to you, or if I don't get back to you, don't get upset. It's probably because I didn't see the message, because Instagram's messaging system sucks. It's hard to like keep up with all the messages. But it's like I really thought about that. I was like, dude, like I have this ability of getting the help I need, but some people out there like deal with the shit completely by themselves and don't have 14,000 followers who are gonna be there to be like, hey, it's okay type shit, you know what I mean? So
exactly,
that's what I was thinking about.
You got a community that loves you, babe. You really do.
And I'm so appreciative for you, like, of you guys for that, because honestly, that is a big worry, is like, if I stop being so consistent on YouTube, people are going to be like, oh, this fool's falling off, this fool's being trash or whatever. But like, yeah, people are being very, very understanding, but the algorithm isn't understanding.
Fuck the algorithm. You're going through your own time right now, like,
yeah,
fuck the algorithm, fuck everything else. Like, you just need to be with your family, and you need to be there for people right now and grieving on your own. So this is nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Our real ones stick by us, obviously. Look at us right now.
But
we got our community showing love.
We got to this point from talking about my sister, and I wanted to like throw in a bunch of stories about my sister in today's episode, but I am gonna do that, but I think I am gonna like just make it a thing where, like, I saw after yesterday's stream, a bunch of people were like, love the story times, like, I want to hear more stories. So I definitely want to throw it in, you know, as much as possible, but also for a podcast to talk about a bunch of old stories at the same time can get into a thing where it's like people might not be able to relate as much, you know what I mean?
But
like,
people understand what you're going through right now, and it is fun to share your stories. Your stories are fun, and they just show how dope your sisters are. So,
but
you should dedicate your portion, or how much you want to make it the whole podcast.
Yeah, whenever it just pops into
people
my
just
brain.
want to listen to you, babe. So,
one thing I do gotta I guess it's kind of like a shout out, but more like of a huge thank you to both of my sisters, is like how supportive they were of like everything I've done my whole life. But skateboarding was one of the main things where it was like this division between my parents where like, no, you're ruining all your shoes, because like I would get a shoes within 2 weeks there'd be a hole in it. My skateboards would break, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, and I would always look dirty and shit. My parents did not like skateboarding at all, and
Your mom was freaked out every time you went out, probably.
exactly every time, like
crack your head.
exactly, she would always be super anxious about all that shit. And it got to this point where it's like if I broke a board, I like if I even asked my mom, she'd be like, no, I don't have the money. If I asked my dad, he'd be like, a skateboard? No.
Nope.
He's like, hell no. He's like, you want me to give you $40 or $50 for a skateboard? No. He would always just be like, he would think about, it's not like he was being selfish. It was more like he would drive through Hollywood and see other skateboarders in the street drinking 40s, hopping fences, doing all the shit. He'd be like, no, you're going to become one of those dudes. I don't want you doing that or whatever. And my sisters were, like we were talking about yesterday, were more on the understanding side where they would try to get to know my friends, get to know what I was doing or whatever. And a lot of times, like, I'll hit up my sisters and be like, guys, like, I just broke a board. Like, do you have $40 or $50 I can get a board with? And they would be like, all right, we'll see what we can do. And then they would always like find a way to hook me up with the board somehow. You know what I mean? Like at least I can go buy a used board from LA Skate or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I always think about with my sisters is like, I would not have been able to continue pursuing skateboarding as much as I did if it were not for my sisters. Because I did have friends like that where they get a board. They convince their parents like on their 13th or 14th birthday to get them a board. their parents quickly realize like, oh, my son's now smoking weed and hopping fences and doing all this shit. And then next year they're like, no, we're not getting you a board, or we're not supporting your skateboarding career. And then my homies would be like, I don't got no board. I'm coming on a bike today. And they would just kick it just to be there on a bike because they couldn't have a board. You know what I mean? But like I was always able to get a board because of them. So I want to give a huge thank you to them for fucking that, because that's honestly something that it's not even like skateboarding, but like skills in general like add confidence to you. You know what I mean? Like Riley was like showing me cheer the other day, and it's like all those kids are over there like have hella confidence, have hella personality. You know what I mean? It's because they know they have confidence in what they're doing in that one thing. You know what I mean? It really builds your character and it really builds your confidence as a person. And like skateboarding has done that for me. You know what I mean? Like where it's just like it makes you feel good to do shit and learn shit, and like you get to this level where you're just like, oh, like yes, it took me years to get to this point. A lot of pain and trial and all this shit. Like I could finally do this comfortably and all this shit. Like it makes you feel good about yourself, and I feel like everyone needs that. You need to not even like skateboarding, but find little things that you could challenge yourself with. Yep. You know, even kendama. Hobbies, exactly.
It just makes you a more interesting person because it shows that you have interest.
I saw this. I was gonna save it or send it to you or whatever, but I just thought it was super random. But I saw this Instagram video, but it was like a reposted TikTok, and it was this girl. She was on a date with the dude, and she was like, LOL, first date with the guy, and he brought his own bowling ball, bowling shoes, and bowling cleaning devices, and she was just like posting him like cleaning his ball, getting his shit ready, and she's like laughing at him. And then it was like a TikTok reaction video where some guy reacts to that girl's post, and he's like yeah, because he's like interests and hobbies build personality. Exactly. He's like, maybe if you did something you'd have some personality too, blah blah. And I was like, that's that shit where you can get made fun of for being into shit. And that's where you gotta like be confident in yourself to be like, no, it's like you're doing nothing with your life. I'm actually doing like something. You know what I mean? Like, dude,
fuck yeah.
And it's like,
I agree with that.
Even with the kendama shit, it's like at first when I first came across the kendama, I thought of it as like as a waste of time. I was like, no, I need to spend as much time editing, vlogging, learning how to do all this shit. Like just doing this is not gonna be, you know, like too beneficial for me. But then after I started messing around with it, it's like you get to these points where you're like, oh, now I see I could potentially do this trick, let me try to do this, and then you keep trying it, and then you land it, and you're like, it makes you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? Like even doing small things like that. And then it kind of is helpful because you learn hand-eye coordination and shit or whatever. But either way, I don't know. Get a skill. I don't know why the fuck we're talking about that.
You're lucky that you're into like skateboarding and shit, because you could do that whenever. You could still do that to this day. But like people who do like team sports, like cheerleading,
exactly,
you get that moment. Like I only did cheerleading till high school. Like, yeah. And then after that, and I did plays and shit. So like after that, it's just like,
I
Like,
didn't.
what else do you have to look forward to? Like, that was your one thing that you
Yeah.
loved, and
And to
that's like why I liked watching that cheer documentary too, because it's
bring you
like
back.
it brings you back, and then like you do see like how sad it is for those seniors who are like, this is my last moment, like, and then after this, it's you don't have anything else. Like you literally just work for this one moment,
Yeah.
and
I think like, what do I
that's
do
it.
next?
You're graduated.
I tried so hard to be a
Mhm.
cheerleader, and now there's no potential career in
Your
being
cheer
a cheerleader.
coach or
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
That
was
would
I
be
gonna
dope,
say? What?
Being a
yeah.
cheer coach.
I was gonna say is when I got into skateboarding, I got into it because like I like the independence-ness. I didn't like being in team sports and all that shit. But that's something I didn't realize until later, which is like, yeah, once high school is over, I get to still skate at the park. All my homies who are on the football team, like, they have to hit up all their homies in the football team. You guys free this Saturday? Let's get a game together.
I think that's why a lot of people get depressed after school, because they had all this team bonding shit.
Yeah.
These games, they were the top of their school, and then after that, it's just like you're working.
Exactly. And mostly it's like
You're working and you have a family.
it's like after high school. I remember I had this thing for like a couple years
Sucks.
where you just like you feel like empty inside.
Fuck
You're just like,
yes.
what am I?
I suck.
I had hella moments where I was like skating at like the park at Plummer Park, and I was just like doing skating how I usually would, but it was after I graduated, and I remember having this thing like, wow, I'm really 19 years old, still skating at the same park. Like, what am I like? I kept having this thing like, what am I gonna do? Like, and I didn't even have any ambitions yet. Where I was like, I want to be the best this, I want to be that, or I want to be an actor. Like, I didn't have anything like that. I was just thinking, I would like to be a pro skater, but that doesn't seem like it's working out. And like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like you get lost after high school, and like you kind of have to like that's why the nerdy, not even nerdy, but the people who were really focused on the scholastic shit in high school, I noticed that towards the middle of 11th grade, when I'm still ditching and bullshitting, all my friends are contacting colleges and like and sending out portfolio and like doing all. They're already getting prepared for after high school. I wasn't doing that. I was just like waiting for it to finish so I could do whatever I wanted. But there were people who were already preemptively thinking, what am I gonna do after high school? You know, and it's like it's kind of a scary thought, but you have to be confident in yourself and confident in the thought that
You're gonna.
I'm leaving my comfort zone. I've been here for 4 years or 5
gonna
years.
grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Especially after 4 years at the high school, you finally get to this point where you're like, I'm the senior. I've been around. I know this whole campus. I know all the teachers. I know all this and that. You like feel comfortable. It feels weird to like leave and go back into like freshman mode, you know?
I feel like that constantly, because I feel like I've just juggled so many things. Like, graduated high school, went to college for like 2 years, stopped that, went to beauty school, did hair, stopped that. Now I'm in like this new field, and it's like, what do I really want to do? Like, I just constantly feel like, I don't know, a little lost and a little like I don't know what I'm obsessed and in love with, or like what I want to do for the rest of my life. So.
Yeah. You know what I think that also could be is like I feel like especially when you're right after high school, you're thinking so far in the future. You're thinking.
Well, I thought I
thinking,
knew
like,
what I wanted to do with like so many different things, and it's just like you get told no so many times, and it's just like it is disheartening, but you just have to pick yourself up and just try to work day by day, and like
That's what I was gonna say. You have to take things day by day and just like I forgot the saying exactly, but it was like it's like very corny, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, and it's like it's like
It's so true,
instead
though.
of thinking about the top of the mountain, think about in front of you. Think about like, oh, what do I got to do today? Even like PewDiePie had that saying too. He's like, every morning you wake up, he's like, it sounds like it's not really very helpful, or it's not going to do much, like it's not going to have like a drastic change in your life, but find like 4 up to 5 things, maybe 10 things, like 5 things is a good like number of like accomplishments you want to accomplish within a day, which is like as easy as like, oh, let's get those MP3s cut for all of our last podcast, get that checked off today, and then you know what I mean, like, oh,
make your bed.
let's get even
Easy as
such as like make your bed, you know what I mean, like get these little things checked off, because those are the little milestone steps that you continue passing, and then like next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, I already did all that, I already have all that shit, you know, done and ready. But I don't know. Yeah, focus on shit day by day, I feel like is a good one. Where
and then you'll get inspired slowly.
and it's like this thought, Riley and I went on a hike today, and this thought kind of always goes through my head with our hikes, especially when I try to take on Riley on a hike where I think I remember where we're going. And I'm like, I think we go left. I think we go right. And sometimes I can sense this nervousness from Riley where she's like, oh, I hope we're going the right way. But I always have this thing in my head where like, there is no right way. We're just on a hike. You know what I mean? Like the point is to go out, right? And it's just like, even if we do take a wrong way, I've never been down that path. You've never been down that path. That's still a journey worth taking because it's like the journey that's fun. It's the hike.
Okay, Australian from Joshua Tree. There is no right path.
There really isn't.
I know,
you know what I mean? It's just like, it's the path that you take. And it's like, you gotta enjoy that shit. Really?
I hope we cross paths with him one day. Like,
that'd be so trippy.
Imagine.
That'd be so trippy if we meet that dude again.
Riley, Yuri.
And then we're just like, we forgot your name.
You never told us your
Australian, Colombian guy.
Tripping on some kind of psychedelic drug.
Bruh. That's crazy.
Listen, he was hilarious.
You know what I feel like we should talk about is, actually, hold on. Before we continue talking about stuff.
Thank our sponsors.
Yes, we have to give a huge thank you to our sponsors. I only
Can
have.
I use the restroom while you thank the sponsors?
I only have one thing written down for topics, but
Did you add our new sponsor too?
No, they didn't. They just gave us product or whatever. But either way, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Stay Grounded. It's an Instagram account. If you guys are into buying like new clothing brands or clothing brands, up and coming clothing brands or really popular clothing brands, Stay Grounded is really a good Instagram to get tapped in with. So you guys can like follow them, find out about new brands and shit, purchase shit from them if you guys want. If you guys are into like finding up and coming brands, it's a good Instagram account to like follow for all this shit. I don't know how they get all the information they do, but they have a Stay Grounded TV Instagram account, which is like all news, and that one's really interesting to follow as well. But also, if you guys have a brand that you're working on and you like have a bunch of fire shit but you don't have enough eyes on it or you want some more opinions on it, tap in with them because they also do these story posts where they'll post a bunch of people's clothing brands, like pieces of articles of clothing from their brands, and they'll ask their audience like copper drop for all of them. It'll be like a pair of pants, copper drop, or a copper knot or whatever, and then you guys basically get to see if their audience or a random audience likes your shit. Because if they post one of your t-shirts or something like that, and then you see 80% of the people want to buy it, you're probably going to get some new clientele or something like that. So huge thank you to Stay Grounded on Instagram. It's Stay Ground, DEAD, not DED, but DEAD, like dead, like a dead person. So Stay Grounded on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. And then also a huge shout out and thank you to CushFaceJ_ on Instagram. If you guys are in the San Gabriel Valley or Whittier area and are looking for quality meds at a good price, follow and message CushFaceJ_ on Instagram to get your order in with Mellow Mobbin medical delivery. Must be 18 plus with medical recommendation or 21 and over without a medical recommendation. Tell them Yuri sent you for a discount. Again, follow and message CushFaceJ_ on Instagram to get your Mellow Mobbin medical needs. And every time he gives us stuff, I'm very excited because it's always quality fire shit. So huge shout and thank you to him. So we're gonna do the package opening?
Yeah, right.
All right, guys. We also have a PO box. It's in our description. It's in every 10 Talks description, every live stream description as well. Our PO box is public. You guys can send us whatever you guys want. Every Sunday during 10 Talks, we will open up the packages. And for this week, we only have one package, and it's from HIR, Human Internal Revival. So let's check it out. And it's a big package.
Mm-hmm.
It's
thick.
Yeah, it looks the fucking plastic is thick, but it's also like, I don't know, like 7 pounds.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Or something like that. They could have sent us a dead baby, a stillborn.
Really?
Oh, I'm kidding. Let's check it out. What can it be?
What?
Oh, more packaging. Whoa. What the fuck?
Windbreakers?
Yo.
For snowboarding?
This looks like some fucking Kanye shit, dude. This looks hella nice. Off-white. I know, this looks like some off-white Kanye large. Shit. Oh, okay, so here's yours, medium. This is mine, large. Oh, here, I'm gonna take it out and show you guys. This is really fucking nice.
My twin and them.
Honestly, this is the first time we've got something that's a whoa, look at this.
Wow. We need to wear these snowboarding.
Yeah, this is really fucking nice. I think
these are cute.
Is this reflective too? Like if you take a picture on with flash on or something?
Super cute.
Wait, hold on.
I like it.
Let me put this on. This is really nice. What the hell?
I like it a lot.
Oh wait.
I like sneeze the windbreakers.
Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. I like it. Look, we got little patches, little side patches. I feel like I'm in the Russian military with this. This is pretty cool. And then right here on the corner pocket it says limited edition.
Love is a fusion dance.
This is fire, dude. What the fuck? Oh, we got pockets in here, like hidden pockets.
I'm taking it snowboarding.
I like this. This is legit. Thank you
Oh,
guys
they
so
left
much.
a note.
Oh, okay. Let's read this note. What is this? What is this? A hoodie?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, damn. This is a nice. Looks like a nice
Life
material.
mapping. I like it.
That would have been a good hiking material hoodie. Whoa, look at that print. That kind of tripped me out for a second.
The great work.
Cool.
First edition.
And then what is this?
I don't know.
Oh, I think it's a pair of shorts or pants. All right, let's check out this last piece of clothing, and then we'll read
no, we
this
have
note.
this too.
Oh, wait, this
for
is.
you.
Oh, what the fuck?
Ooh, these are pens.
No way. Holy shit.
These are nice. You look so
Wait,
cute in these.
I thought this was your jacket. Yup.
More pants. Ooh,
This is
to
the-
match.
Damn.
For
Look at that side
snowboarding.
pocket.
That's fire.
Yo, this is. Yeah, I wonder if this is waterproof. Well,
I feel like it is.
guys, let us know. Human. Here, I'll read the name right now, but let us know if this
Oh
is
my God,
waterproof.
these are gonna be so cute.
Whoa, that feels like it's waterproof. It could be. Dang, this is legit. This is some super
These are
nice shit you got.
nice.
It says Harmonious Friends. Hello, stuff this. Wait, stuffed this as much as I could. Include some unreleased items and a tracksuit we just released with a dear friend Ericobru. Sorry if I can read that correctly. I could only fit a medium for Riley. I'll send more in time. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Love as always, John Boy, Human Internal Revival. So the brand is called HIR, Human Internal Revival. So HUMANI.internal.R.evival.
I
So,
really like. That looks
right?
really nice.
This is like, bro, we've gotten a lot of stuff. And like I said, you know, there's certain brands out there that will just like grab any blank tee and print on it. But this is,
good quality.
this is very custom. You know what I mean? I've never seen some shit like this. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Human Internal Revival. You guys are the best. This is some really fire shit.
I like it. I want to see the whole fit together.
It's kind of warm in
With the
here, so I'm gonna
pants.
take this off. Actually, I just realized
Cute.
it's kind of warm in here. But dude, yeah, this is really nice. I'm super excited to wear that, and I think if it's waterproof, that'd be a really good snowboarding fit. But all right, so what I wanted to talk about as well is it's like a movie review. Oh, we talked about it yesterday. We said you guys should watch it if you guys had the chance. But Riley and I recently watched this movie called Trans America, and I've tried to I've recommended for Riley to watch it before, but it's like an older movie, and also the older trailers too didn't really do too good like at getting people excited to watch a movie sometimes, I feel like. But this is the type of movie that if someone told me to watch it or told me to watch the trailer, I'd probably also not watch it. But after watching the whole movie, you realize how good a movie it is. But anyways, I tried to recommend it multiple times. Riley's like, no, I don't want to watch it. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, she's finally like, all right, let's watch the movie. And then,
I fucking loved it. It was
Right?
so good. The story was amazing.
wasn't it really good?
Yes. And I told Yuri after, I was like, okay. The next day, I was like, okay. I really liked the movie. So I give you your gold medal. Because
Or
I
props.
usually always hate on Yuri's movie choices because it's like he always wants to show me some random ass old movie, but I actually always end up loving it. So I always come through and I at least tell you the truth, right?
Yeah. But also there
Because
has
American Psycho 2, I was like, okay, I really like the movie. And it got me thinking. Da-da-da-da.
but there has been that one time where I saw
You showed me some flop movies.
I saw The Fifth Element a long time ago when I was a kid, and I was like, around 10-year-old me was just like, wow, this is the best movie ever. Thought it was so cool. I was telling Riley about it when we first got together. Riley's like, all right, let's watch it. And then, like a lot of movies that I recommend to Riley, I didn't remember most of it. And as we're watching it, I'm like, this is a really weird movie. It's actually not that great. And then I guess it's like okay that we watched it because it's kind of like a classic that a lot of people know about, but it's not that great of a movie. Doesn't have a good story. It's very weird. A lot of loopholes, kind
I
of.
don't even remember it.
And the aliens looked funny. Like, I don't know, just interesting. Very, very sexually charged. There's like some weird parts where one of the aliens just like grabs a girl, like starts making out with her, and he's like, all right, get out of here, I'm done with you. Like, it was just like weird. Like, there's like a bunch of like weird shit like that too, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Really. Either way,
But the past couple movies you've shown me, I've actually really liked.
American Psycho, Transamerica.
And then what was that one other one that had hella fucking in it too?
Oh, Enter the Void.
That was good.
Right, that's a good ass movie.
That was really good.
We need to watch Irreversible by Gaspar Noé.
In Love.
Yeah, we should
the
watch
Australian
Love.
recommended.
Oh my god, it was, dude, we didn't even think about this, but when Riley and I were in Joshua Tree, we ran into this random Australian dude, and we were hanging out with him. I think he was on psychedelics. It was very, very funny and cool.
He was definitely on psychedelics, 100% confirmed.
But like an hour or two into our conversations of us, Riley and I just chilling and talking with him at like 10 or 11 p.m. We're drinking and smoking, and then he just out of nowhere goes like,
we were doing heroin.
Yeah, he thought we were doing heroin. Oh, bro, we've talked about this before, but either way, at one point he goes, guys, I don't want to seem weird or like I don't want you guys. He's like overbearing. He's like, I don't want you guys think I'm trying to do anything or like I
hope I don't look creepy.
Yeah, he said I'm not trying to look creepy or I'm not trying. I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to do anything strange. But he's like, you guys should watch this movie, Love by Gaspar Noé.
Because Yuri told him that you.
Yeah, because I was already talking to him about Gaspar Noé. He didn't just bring it up out of nowhere, but he was just saying like, oh, don't think I'm weird, but you should watch this movie called Love.
He's like, I haven't watched it with my partner yet. But we've been talking about it. You have to be in the right headspace. So I'm like thinking, what the fuck is in this movie? Now I'm curious to watch it.
And then Riley and I sat down. She's like, let's watch the trailer.
I know.
And the trailer's basically, the movie's about a couple who's having threesomes.
And I'm just like, oh god.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, yo, Riley and I are hanging out alone with this one dude, and he's recommending a movie about threesomes. I was like, what the fuck?
That's exactly why he's like, I hope this doesn't seem weird.
But yeah, whatever. We should watch that movie.
Like,
Either
you
way,
have to be in the right headspace. I'm like, oh fuck.
Let's get to the movie at hand, Transamerica. So I talked about
A+.
Yeah, A+ movie ahead of time, letting you guys know. I don't want to. Oh, also, I guess kind of a spoiler alert. We're gonna ruin a little bit of the movie for you guys, but definitely recommend it to watch regardless. But just to say, it's like I'm not like closed-minded, to like transsexual stuff or transsexual people or whatever. But it's like I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, like a transsexual movie, let me watch it. Like, it's like it doesn't grab my attention like that. So this is one of those movies where it just like I watched that out of complete boredom, but it completely opened my mind to the plights and the fucking struggles of a trans person.
Yeah.
And not just the plights and struggles of a trans person, but like it deals with addiction, with sexual molestation, with like all types of shit. Basically, it starts off with this lady who she wants to fucking Bree, and Bree is still has like a
transitioning.
Yeah, still has a penis or whatever, but has an appointment set up to like have it reversed and become a full woman or whatever, right? And then as she's talking to the therapist, she like one day she just gets a random phone call from some correctional facility, and they're like, hey, we're looking for this dude named Stan. And Bree's previous name was Stan when she was a dude, and she was like, all right, Stan's not here. And they're like, oh, basically you got a kid and he's locked up. And she's like, deuces. And she just like kind of hung it up. And then she brought it up to her therapist, and like I guess I'm not sure if it's like this now, but back in the day, to get that transitional surgery, your therapist and multiple doctors all have to approve it. And so her therapist hears about her story of potentially having a son out there who's already at the age of 18. She's like, nah, you can't get the surgery until you talk to him or whatever.
I think he was 17.
17. And so anyway, she goes to the fucking correctional facility, bails him out, finds out that his old partner, the kid's mom, had passed away from suicide like a while ago. The kid is completely by himself, is like got caught basically selling drugs, does drugs, and it's and basically it was like a whole movie about their relationship building. I don't want to explain the whole movie or whatever, but so we should just give like highlights, I feel like.
pretty much, yeah, a transgender woman finds out she has a son who's a fucking drug dealer slash addict, delinquent kid or whatever, and she decides to. Well, no, she doesn't decide. She's pretty much forced to.
We don't have to give too much of the details, but basically
she's forced to.
They have to go to California.
Yeah, they have to go to California together
with the car
within a couple of days.
They have to drive there.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the movie, exactly. And then
there's a lot of shit that happens along the way.
And it's very interesting. It's like at one point Bree, she's talking to her son, and she's like, also the whole movie, the son doesn't know that that's his dad, right?
Yeah, the whole time.
The whole movie,
he thinks that she's from a church.
Exactly.
The church that his father goes to.
We're doing a terrible job summarizing this movie, I feel like, but the main reason why I really like it is because like the way it fucking portrays addiction. You know what I mean? Like I haven't watched Euphoria or like any other stuff like too much kind of like this, but I have seen certain shit where like they portray drugs in such a corny way. You know what I mean? Like it's not realistic at all. Where it's like if they show a stoner, they show the most extreme version of a stoner, right?
Pause this, because there was this part where I was like, okay, this is really corny, because the kid does coke in the movie, and they're at this like diner.
Oh,
eating
kissing the girl.
No, they're just eating a burger or whatever after he like does a line of coke, and he's like dipping his finger in the milkshake, like he's just acting like hella dumb high. And I'm just like,
really?
You don't act like that.
I don't think he was doing that because he was dumb high. I think he was doing that just because he's like he doesn't have any table manners.
No, I think he was he's trying to portray that he was like so off coke and like he was just being hella dumb. And then Bree goes to the next table because she's like, I'm disgusted with you, because it was that, remember when he pours it on his hand and she's like, don't fucking do that in my car.
Yeah.
And he does it anyway. And then she was like, whatever, like just go ahead. And he does it, and then they go to the diner right after, and then he's like poking his finger in the milkshake, like acting like he's super duper high.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to the next table. I'm just like, okay, that's a little corny portrayal, but it was in the 80s, so whatever.
All right, so this is where we get into the real spoiler alerts, because as we're talking about this, I'm starting to realize that like, what are we gonna do? Like, give a verbal explanation of the entire movie?
It's from the 80s or in the 90s.
Yeah,
so
no, but I'm saying like we gotta like kind of recap. We can't give too many. Too many details. But I do have to say one of the most shocking points in the movie, right? Just to give you guys
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, and just to give you guys a little bit of a recap to give you the true impact of this scene. The Bree is traveling with her son, right? Bree's a transsexual. She's a female, but used to be a male, right? So this is like his dad or whatever that he's traveling with, but he doesn't know the whole time until the end of the movie. Bree's trying to get him reconnected with his stepdad. She's like, why aren't you talking to your stepdad? He's like, I don't fuck with them. I don't want to talk about it. I don't fuck with them. I don't talk about it. And she's just like kind of pressing him, saying like, yo, this fool actually took care of you. Like, you should go talk to him, blah, blah. And he's like, drop it. I ain't trying to talk to him. And then while he's asleep, she basically drives a couple hours out of the way to go to this fool's house because she finds out the address. And they pull up to the house, and then she thinks it's going to be like some heartfelt, they're like a reuniting moment, but basically she finds out that his stepdad has been sexually abusing her son as soon as since he was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he doesn't fuck with his stepdad, because he's been sexually abusing him, and he doesn't want to tell every fucking person he meets that he's been through that type of shit. So he's not telling her for his own specific reasons, and she doesn't know. She tries to reunite them, and then she restarts this whole thing in his life where he's like, now I'm meeting this guy again who used to touch me as a kid, blah blah. And then they get past that whole situation. That's a whole part in its own. They get past that whole situation. Later in the movie, the son, right, he thinks he's traveling with a church lady. He doesn't even think he's related to this person. He just thinks he's traveling with. He later finds out that it's a transsexual, and he's okay with that or whatever. He later in the movie makes a sexual attempt to have sex with Bree, not knowing that that's his dad. And then Bree the whole time is like, no, get out of here. What are you doing? Get out of here. And he's like, no, I love you or some shit. And like kisses him. And they
I think you're sexy.
And they kiss for like 2 seconds.
It was so
and
weird.
It's like the most fucked up. It's almost like that song Immortal Technique, where he accidentally rapes his own mom and then like he kills her and then kills himself. It's kind of like this kid has already been through so much sexual trauma in his life.
Yes.
He's trying to fix himself, trying to get things on the right path, and he accidentally tries to hook up with his own dad. And you're just like watching the movie like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, dude.
Fuck.
It's such a crazy movie, dude. Bro, the ending of the movie is even I couldn't stop laughing. The dude, mostly because of his wig, the dude at the end becomes a gay porn star, the son, right? He gets to California, becomes a gay porn star, and he reunites with Brie. And when he reunites with them, he has like this
horrible
He has this like
horrible,
super bright blonde hair, and he looks like Zac Efron, and he just like
he does.
he's just like, oh, what's up? Like, I'm a porn star now. Like, it was so
It just is so corny.
bro, it was so funny. But
a great movie.
hopefully that was a good enough recap on this movie. But you guys should watch it. Transamerica. It's $4 on YouTube. It might be free elsewhere on other shit, but you guys should definitely watch it because it really it opened my eyes as a kid when I watched this movie, and like it gives you an insight not only to, like I was saying, to her experience, like, you know, trying to go through that transition and going through all the struggles she went through, but it also gives you like she ends up meeting up with her family, and you start like seeing her mom and her dad and her sister and how they react to it and how their relationship is, and like
and it's like such a raw family.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Riley is like the whole time. Usually when I watch movies, I know I'm watching actors, and I kind of try to like stay in that, you know, like fantasy zone or whatever, where it's all real. But with this movie, it feels like you're just watching some MTV like true life shit the whole time.
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a movie at all. It's like, yeah, I think it's a really good movie.
Me gusta.
But either way,
Anywho'sville.
the only thing I had written on my topics right here was JRE canceled.
Speak on it.
Wait, no, we should talk about the Ice Poseidon thing.
I wrote that down.
Oh, okay. You know, I honestly, I don't have anything to say about the Joe Rogan thing being canceled. I do have one thing to say, that it's more information, and I would like people to know this just because I think it's funny, not because it's not. And like, as I say this information, someone could be like, "You're trying to defend Joe." This is not a defense of Joe. This is an understanding of the internet environment, of exactly what's going on, because some people out there aren't internet savvy enough to realize that these are like actual internet attacks. This is a lot of people see that like, oh, this person's getting called out for racism, and then everyone's attacking them, trying to get them, you know, fired or whatever, and you assume that everyone's doing this with this moral, honorable stance of like, this person's wrong and let's get them out of this position, right? Which is a good stance to come from. But what you don't realize is like, a lot of times the core of that movement is these other evil people who are just taking advantage of an actual moral plight for their own selfish endeavors. You know what I mean? Like, they don't actually care about this right or that right or these laws and that. Like, they're just doing that just because they want to cause havoc, not because they want to make the world a better place type shit. And what I found interesting is I guess they're like this highlight. I didn't even watch too much information about this, so don't even take anything I say, you know, too fucking seriously. But I just saw a little bit of like I think it was on Phil DeFranco, like a highlight reel came out of Joe Rogan saying the N-word like a bunch of times, but he like addressed that, and he's talked about this before on his podcast, where if he's having a conversation with you and he's like, yo, I was talking to Dave Chappelle the other day, and Dave Chappelle told me blah 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 blah, he's not scared to say every single word that the person says like to provide the context for you. You know what I mean? Like, in his mind, he's talked about this before on his podcast, where like, if he's repeating something to you that someone else told him, he's gonna say the whole thing, and he's like, I'm not saying it in a negative side, I'm just repeating what the fuck they told me as a way to continue our conversation, so you can get a grasp for what the fuck happened, right? So anyways, a highlight stream came out with a bunch of these clips of him saying those words, right? And then he actually came out saying like, yeah, I was wrong, I shouldn't be fucking saying that, even if it is in context, I shouldn't be saying that, right? And then this other clip that came out that, honestly, in Joe Rogan's defense video, he like completely brushed over this, and I feel like this is where he should have really focused in on his apology. Is he was joking around with his homies, and then he basically said that he went to Compton or Inglewood, and he referred to his experience there as an experience in Planet of the Apes movies. That's what he said. And then like, it's just like, you hear that, and like, I forgot what he said, what his defense for it was, but it did not make sense. You know what I mean? He was just he said Planet of the Apes isn't even filmed in Africa. It's filmed in this planet. His defense doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, I saw that and I was like, nah, that's weird, bro. Like, you can't be saying shit like that. That's fucking strange. But the point I'm getting to is that highlight video and all that information that came out about Joe came from these 3 fucking dudes who are known on the internet for basically, that's all they do, is they just find information, like negative information about popular people, just because they want to take down people's career for their own enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
And what's funny is, like, these 3 dudes, I don't know who dug to find this information, but someone found these guys is like social media info, and found out that they were actually using the N-word in a negative context, like calling people that, being derogatory, right? And just like, it's so funny to look at it. You're like, yo, Joe Rogan's getting called out by these 3 dudes who aren't even in the right at all and shouldn't even be speaking on the, it's so weird, dude. But I don't know. Joe Rogan's definitely tripping for what the fuck he said, though.
That's cancel culture for you, though.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's this cancel culture shit that we need to understand. That's the point of my...
Everybody's looking to dig some shit up. And it's... You said it the other day. It's like people just want to see people lose all their fucking money and, like, their career. Like, they just want to see their downfall. And
which is, like... to be honest, that itself isn't the problem. The problem in my eyes is the fact that people aren't doing it on an actual moral, honorable stance. They're not doing it because they care.
Yes, if they were doing some shitty ass shit, then for real, I feel like some people should be deplatformed. But if it's just like some shit you're digging up from 2008,
exactly,
and
but
it's just like something random.
I could even like refer this to the H3 Keemstar thing, right? H3 loves to fucking call out Keemstar for the Etika stuff, right? Does H3 really care about Etika? Did H3 have a relationship with Etika? Does H3 talk with Etika's mother or parents or anything like that? Did H3 donate to anything Etika cared about? H3 has nothing to do with Etika and doesn't care about Etika at all. He only brings that up to make Keemstar look evil. And I'm not here to say that Keemstar's in the right or wrong. All I'm saying is that it's wrong when people choose honorable things to hide behind as their way of attack. You know what I mean? Like, no, if you're gonna attack someone for something you think they actually did wrong, don't try to hide behind an honorable thing because you're just trying to be shady. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people do that, or they choose these catchy buzzwords.
They're manipulative.
Exactly. You're just trying to manipulate the fucking argument, and you got to be smart enough to see through this cancel culture shit. You got to see, like, who's calling him out. Who found this video? Where did this video come from? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, who's the first platform? It's not easy to find this information, guys. Like, who's the first platform to post this Joe Rogan canceling shit? If you find out it's some, like, crazy left-wing Democratic internet page, you're like, makes you think, like, huh, okay. Well, like, why is this originating from here? You know what I mean? But that's all I was trying to say. I guess...
on that.
I also wanted to give my opinion on the Ice Poseidon thing.
Speak on it, my love.
What do you know about this so far?
He made his own coin, or he was promoting this coin. A bunch of his supporters bought it, and then it ended up being a fraud coin. And he profited all the money, and he went on this podcast or somebody's YouTube channel, and he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, that's a good summarization. Like you know how I feel like some people might not understand exactly how the whole thing works, but basically it's like you get a bunch of people to invest into your coin, right? In hopes that your coin is going to become more popular, and more people are going to invest, and they're going to see a return on investment. As soon as they all invest, you take out all their investments, and then the coin becomes worthless, and they lose all their money, and you just basically trick people into taking their money or whatever, right? Ice Poseidon is not unique into doing this. Like, Kim Kardashian just got called out for promoting a scam NFT coin. Floyd Money Mayweather is constantly doing this, like constantly doing these like NFT scam shit. Like he's been called out for it before as well. There's tons of celebrities do this shit, right?
Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather.
It's Floyd Money Mayweather. Either way. Yeah, that's what he says. What I was going to say is Ice Poseidon is definitely wrong for doing this. And Ice Poseidon's kind of like hiding behind this defense where he's like, people know I'm like he kind of like treats his audience like he acts like they're on his same they're on the same joke he's on. Like they know that like he's just promoting a scam coin. Like he expects them to know that, right? But when you have a million people reacting to what you do or listening to what you do, you're gonna have at least 10 or 20 or 50,000 people who get fooled and don't understand the joke, you know what I mean, like, or whatever. So he's hiding behind the fact that he's saying like, yo, if you invested in this coin, you're dumb regardless. Because me as an Ice Poseidon fan, I love his old content. I'm not gonna invest in no CX coin. I know that's going nowhere, you know what I mean, like I know it's gonna be something weird. So it's like I feel like that was obvious to almost anyone who used to watch back in the day. So I don't know who the fuck invested, but that's also a fucked up way to treat your fans. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people used to watch him. I'm not going on YouTube every day trying to see if Ice is live anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but he does still have people doing that, and he's fucking them over. You know what I mean? Like those are his remaining loyal fans that actually want to watch his content and support him financially, and he's fucking them over. And I feel like that's like maybe like someone was saying that Ice Poseidon like already feels like my streams are dead anyway. Like I'm not gonna continue to be a streamer or YouTuber. I'm just gonna get as much money as I can and leave. You know what I mean? But like he got $300,000, he said, out of it, profit. 300,000 is not gonna last you the rest of your life. What are you gonna? He's gonna have to get a regular job or some shit.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, it just doesn't seem worth it. But what the fuck was I gonna say? Like,
you still love him though?
Do I still love him though? I don't know. The thing with Ice Poseidon is shut the fuck up. The thing with Ice is like I separate the art from the artist, because this CX coin, this CX coin is just brushing the surface of fucked up shit that Ice has done. He's done very controversial, fucked up shit in the past, many things, right?
Which you love.
He's lied about. Dude, he's lied to his audience many times. Like he's known to be a controversial person. So it's like
love it.
The only reason why I was a fan of Ice is because of the streams I liked back in the day. He no longer does those streams, so he's just like a memory to me. You know what I mean? He's just someone I used to know.
Oh, God.
Basically, no. This doesn't make me hate Ice, because it's not like I ever loved Ice to begin with.
In love.
And no, I never loved Ice to begin with. Is what I'm saying.
You know everything about him
because I watched all. Does Blasey love Ice Poseidon? He knows everything about him.
You probably know a little more.
No, I've tried to question Blasey. He knows everything I know.
He probably loves
Blasey and I should have a fucking
Ice Poseidon. Ooh, you should.
We should have an Ice Poseidon. What's it called? Like a quiz.
Fuck.
Test, you know what I mean? Like to see who knows more. But I've tried to quiz him before. Trivia. Yeah, we should have an Ice Poseidon trivia between me and Blasey. That's a good stream idea.
I like it.
We should do that. But I never loved him to hate him now. Shut the fuck up. Either way, the way I feel about it. Oh, what I was gonna say is, now that we got past the fact how I feel about Ice, just I'm not surprised that he did this. I shut the what the fuck. I do have to say, I like that he's taking this fucking unapologetic approach to it. There's a lot of people who do these NFT scams, and they just don't even respond to it. They just go silent. Kim Kardashian, try getting her response to her NFT scam. She's not going to say anything about it. She's going to have her publicist write some random post on her Facebook that says, sorry guys, blah, blah, I didn't know. Like some shit like that. Ice Poseidon went on that platform and he's like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm just looking out for myself. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not right, but I like the fucking unapologetic, I'm taking accountability for what I'm doing approach. And I honestly, I don't think he understands the consequences. But also, you know what I was thinking is, Ice Poseidon can do this thing right now where he can like deposit all that money back and be like, this was just all a fucking publicity stunt. He's like, I just lied about this to make CX coin more popular. Now everyone knows about CX coin. We can get more investors. And I feel like that'd be like an honorable and like fucking 1,000 IQ move for Ice Poseidon to do is like put all the money back and be like, I tricked CoffeeZilla into thinking I was a dickhead for publicity. Enjoy my coin.
But join my coin now.
But I don't think that's good publicity. The fact that you're saying I have a scam coin. Are you gonna...
and still join.
But look
it,
at
though.
Doge. Look at Dogecoin. Everyone was saying Dogecoin is
You're blaming
dumb.
Doge?
No, shut the fuck. No, I'm saying
Look at Doge.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Dogecoin.
Yeah,
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Everyone knew it was a fucking scam. Everyone was saying Dogecoin. Doge is a shit coin. They're calling it a shit coin. People still invested in it.
Yeah.
So he can put all the money back right now and be like, bro, it was a shit coin. That was a publicity stunt. CoffeeZilla is an idiot. I'm a smart ass.
But he ain't gonna do it.
We'll see. He bought a Tesla, so he's already fucking 50,000 or 60,000 down. I don't know.
You're gonna be like, is that my Bessie and a Tessie?
Shut the fuck up. What the fuck? What do you think about it?
I don't know. I feel like
Really?
like I just really don't know anything about these coins and shit.
No, but okay, no, it's you don't even have to know anything about the coins. But what do you think about people like Kim Kardashian?
I think that's shitty. I think that it's so hard because it's like at least he did address it, but he's not doing anything about it. He said that he's literally just gonna take the money, so it's like that's kind of shitty that he's just admitting to being an asshole and he's just gonna stick with it, even though he literally got caught.
Yeah, you know what?
He has the ability just to give the fucking money back and like exactly like what you said, he can make it a positive thing.
Yeah.
And then he's not gonna do that.
But goddamn, you know what I was gonna say is.
But it's like, yeah, like the other people not addressing that shit, like that's fucking shady and stupid.
Honestly,
but it's like, yeah, you kind of are dumb if you're gonna just believe these fucking celebrities have your interest at heart or your best interest at heart.
Yeah, but I feel like someone
and investing your money in their fucking coin. Don't fucking believe them, peoples.
I feel like, to be honest, between Kim Kardashian and Ice Poseidon on the evil level, Ice Poseidon is a little bit higher, probably much higher, because he actually worked on creating the coin and he knew what he was doing the whole time. Whereas Kim Kardashian, most likely, she has a manager. Someone approached the manager and told her, we'll give you $3 million. Chris. Someone approached Chris and said, hey, we'll give you guys $10 million if you make this Instagram post. Chris is like, fire. Okay, we'll make this. Let me look at your company. Okay, looks legit.
Okay, honey.
Yeah, and then like Kim Kardashian probably doesn't even know that it's a scam. She probably just saw a bag and just took the money. But so I feel like Ice Poseidon definitely falls on a higher evil, fucked up, scammy level. You know what I mean? Than Kim K here.
Well,
I have something I want to talk about.
Sorry, y'all lost your money.
I feel like you're gonna have an opinion about this.
What?
No Jumper today posted the Pete Davidson Kanye West thing, right? And it was like, and I read
Skeet Davidson.
Skeet Davidson, Skeet Davidson. I saw Kanye's post where he's just like, he's basically like begging for Kim back.
Dude,
he's like
I thought he was with Julia Fox.
He's like trying to solve this relationship so bad, right? You could tell that like that relationship is just a front. Let me get another hot girl that makes me look like I'm doing good or something like that. By the way, that lady's not hot. It looks fucking like a scarecrow or something like that. But either way, what I want to get to is I commented on it. I got like 250 likes. I wrote, imagine begging for Kim. I said imagine fighting for Kim K or any of the Kardashians. A bunch of throw up face emojis, and then a bunch of people were like on my side. They're saying like, you said it right, brother, blah blah, like all this shit, right?
I didn't know you commented this shit.
It has like 300 likes almost. And then I did see a lot of people commenting, replying to me saying, that's the mother of his children, you idiot. Like, he's trying to solve his family. He's trying to fix his family. And then I didn't reply to any of them. Lord. But let me get your opinion. In my opinion, I hate the Kardashians. Like, I fucking despise them.
We just had a big argument.
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about this.
Dude.
About how much I hate the Kardashians. But even if she's the mother of your 4 children, I feel like you gotta take that L. Be like, I fucked up on this one. I'm just gonna be there for my kids, and I'm gonna do better not to be with someone like that at all for the rest of my life, right? Because I don't think Kim K is redeemable. I think she's irredeemable as a person.
Okay, and I was thinking about this earlier today too because I was figuring we were going to talk about this. But I was thinking like we don't know the behind the scenes shit that's Kanye's done though too. Like I feel like as a mother, if he's a violent person and he's
Kanye?
yeah,
Wait,
like
did she say that?
no,
Oh.
but he's
behind the
very
scenes.
aggressive. He's coming at her very publicly and like coming at everybody very publicly, like
Yeah.
in weird aggressive ways.
Yeah.
So like
Skeet.
what if yes, Keith Davidson. What if he was a fucking like he did something shady towards her? Like I don't know. What if he's scary, and he just she doesn't want her kids to get fucking hurt? Like he gives me the vibes where he would take his kids and run away with them like to a different country.
You know what
and like keep them from her. Like he
honestly,
gives me those kind of vibes.
I think Kanye is kind of like a conspiratorial.
And it's like everybody's hating on Kim and shit, but I'm like maybe she's just trying to keep her kids safe because he's fucking acting wild right now.
That wasn't my I agree with you there because that wasn't my point. I kind of agree that I think Kanye is like a conspiratorial type dude where I feel like he's gonna fucking like unleash his anxieties and his worries about the world onto his children on some crazy ass level.
Bless you.
And oh shit. I think that yeah, he's gonna be on some crazy conspiratorial shit with his kids. You know what I mean? Like where he's not gonna let him do this or do that, like because he thinks like some deep government shit or whatever, right? And I think Kim's scared of that, right? But that's not my argument. My argument is Kim K. You don't want to be with her.
Okay.
Or any of the Kardashians.
That's your opinion, though.
That's not my. Well, yeah, that's my opinion. But
you don't know them personally, though.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough interviews. Here's the thing: is like I've seen a lot of interviews, and a lot of like content with like celebrities and stuff like that, and intelligence shows. You know what I mean? Like you watch even like a 2 or 3 minute interview with someone, and like fast remarks, the types of answers they get. But intelligence shows very easily. With Kim K, I listen to her, and I'm just like it's crazy, dude. Like I don't understand it. And then what's even worse, the reason why I hate her is not because of any personal characteristics of her. I just really I've seen the effects constantly through many conversations with people. They have this thing on society where people want to look like them and they think it's normal to look like them, and they don't ever address it. Their whole family has gone under these surgeries where they all look the same, and it makes all these little girls think that they gotta look like that. Yeah. And no one ever talks about it. I really don't like the fact that they're fake, dude, and like no one says like, yo, that's not what a real woman looks like. That's not what, you know what I mean? That's unnatural. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to look like that. That's she wanted to look like that. That's not normal. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like they're making it normal where every girl wants a BBL. Every girl wants this. Every girl wants that. It's like, bro, like we gotta stop making this shit seem normal. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I like the idea of like promote confidence in your natural body more than that. That's what I like to promote
I
more.
agree with that, and I appreciate that you think like that as a man. But I feel like there's always been beauty icons in every generation where girls want to look like this ridiculously beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like that's a 1 in a million type of girl.
Exactly.
And it's just like, but nowadays it's just like way more emphasized because we have stupid social media. I know we hate saying that word. But
that's what it is. It's like kids see the shit
it's
and they
look at
themselves.
Crazier nowadays. And back in the day, it was like a lot of natural beauties like people looked up to and stuff.
Marilyn
but
Monroe?
yeah, and now it's I feel you.
And it's like, yes, after years of the media promoting big boobs and big butts, like a girl who's naturally not gonna have that is gonna feel a certain way.
Exactly.
So I don't want to stigmatize or make those girls feel bad for wanting to adjust their bodies to what they feel right. But I want to also have that conversation open where it's like we look at the Kardashians and we immediately realize that this is almost kind of like seeing someone with gauged ears. You're like, whoa, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's how we gotta look at it. We gotta look at it like, yo, like look how skinny her legs are and how big her butt is. That doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Like we gotta see this shit, not look at it and be like, fucking good job, like this girl's a billionaire now. Like you know what I mean? Like nah.
Well, this is why I love you. You make me feel better.
I don't know. That shit's weird. And also it just looks weird, dude. Like the unfiltered photos of the Kardashians are so telling. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's crazy.
It is what it is. I still think they're gorgeous. They're obviously beautiful people. They started off natural, so.
Yeah, and they all switched. What's her name? Kylie Jenner. She's the youngest one, right? Didn't she do it like before 18?
I don't know. I think her lips, yes.
That was like a huge thing. She got her lips done. You know what I mean? Like, and then
the Vine days.
Then all of a sudden, all these girls are sucking on a bottle, trying to get the Kylie Jenner.
But Kylie
lips.
was actually funny as fuck on Vine. Like she did funny skits with her friends.
Riley and I were
and then she got her lips done, and then she like became super popping on Instagram and on Vine, and that's kind of when she grew all her shit, when she started doing her lip line.
Okay, so this is where hater Yuri a little bit comes out.
What?
Riley and I.
Oh yeah, are you gonna talk about the story?
What story?
About Kylie's son in the car when I'd said his name, and then you're like, I don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I'm not gonna talk about that, but it's about Kylie and Travis. We talked about this the other night, where basically Riley and I were having this conversation about Travis and Kylie. I forgot exactly what we were talking about, but then we started watching random interviews with Travis and Kylie and all this shit, and trying to just hear them speak. I just want to hear them talk, you know what I mean? Like express their fucking thoughts or whatever. And then within a couple interviews I saw of Travis talking, I quickly realized like this fool like can't really express himself too well verbally. You know what I mean? Like you would think that a musician who's like kind of like, all musicians are poets, you would think that a poet would be able to like verbally express themselves very well, but in interview situations like he says little to nothing. You know what I mean? And then I told Riley, I was like thinking like Travis right now is like for any like kind of hype lord or drip lord kid, which is there's a lot of them right now. It's very popular to be into you know, wearing fancy clothes and all that shit. It's like the epitome or kind of like one of the gods is like Travis Scott, right? And like a lot of people look up to him. And then I was like watching all these interviews and I was like telling Riley, I was like, dude, like this is kind of sad that this is the pinnacle of the not even sad, but I was like telling Riley in kind of a joking manner, I was like this is very telling that these like Travis Scott is the pinnacle of the fashion world, where he, in my honest opinion, like watching those interviews, he has no depth to him. He has no ability to like kind of give an introspective or a deep conversation or a deep thought or like, you know, a deep answer or actually listen to the question and like fucking respond with something that actually makes sense. You know what I mean? It's always just like, oh, vibe this, vibe that. I don't know. It's like basically I was just telling Riley, I was like, it's funny to see that this is the fucking highlight of the drip world. You know what I mean? Like, is this guy who can't even talk? And I just thought it was so funny. And then I got into a deeper conversation with Riley, where I was saying like, Kylie is that to the girls. There's a lot of girls who look up to Kylie Jenner, and we're watching Kylie Jenner interview clips, and like I had the same thing where I was like, bro, like she can't really talk either that well. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I'm listening to like almost like a high school student. And then I was thinking like, dude, like we got to be careful who we make our role models. Like if you find someone who you think, like if you're into clothes and you look at Travis Scott as like a role model, like look into like a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Like what are their thoughts? Like is this person thinking?
Your role models.
Are they? Yeah, like that. And that was we started getting into this deeper conversation of like, we got to be careful who we make our role models, because like we will look up to people for the wrong reasons. We will look up to people because we think they have money, we think they have this and that, but like look at like the type of person they are. Look at how they react to things. Look at like their response to serious situations. Look at their answers to fucking normal interview questions. Like if they don't, you know what I mean? Like it's very easy to tell. And I don't know, we just had that whole conversation where I was like, bro, people are looking up to a fucking airhead. That's what I thought.
That's how it is, right?
What'd you have listed?
We pretty much talked about it, but the last thing I had listed was the struggle to find weed in Texas.
Oh, yes. Honestly, it's kind of like you could like open up a museum. You know what I mean?
That was the hardest thing.
So because of like the whole tragedy that happened and everything, we had to go to El Paso, Texas for a week, right? I talked about this yesterday. As soon as this tragedy happened, as soon as you lose someone in your life, like you don't want to do anything for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I just heard we're going to Texas, got to pack up. I had like, I don't know, an hour to pack up. I just put clothes and I just like, I had this like one weed container with a little bit of weed and like some joints, and I just threw it in my like thing or whatever in my pack. But I had other weed that I could have like it would have taken me an extra minute just to get this weed to put in there. But just the idea of like, oh, now I'm worried about being faded. Like, why are you worried about being faded when your family member just passed away? That's fucked up. And then I was just like, fuck that. I don't need anything. You know what I mean? And then you quickly have this thing where you're like, it feels selfish just to worry about anything, to want to do anything for yourself when something like that happens. But after a couple days out there and like dealing with hella stress, and like, you know, we're not doing anything out there, we're kind of just like all mourning and talking and shit. And after like 2 or 3 days, you're like, you just want to get faded, you just want to get drunk, you know, you like kind of forget about shit. And then I didn't want to make the post on my Instagram because I felt like it was inappropriate. So I was like, babe, can you post that we're in El Paso and ask who's around? Because I'm sure they'll understand.
I got so many messages instantly.
Riley's like, that's gonna seem weird. People are gonna think I'm up to something.
My family is going to hit us up, like thinking something's wrong.
But I asked Riley to post like, I'm in El Paso, like who's around type shit. And then we had a couple, and honestly, like if you're a stoner, you know what that means. And we had a couple people reply. If you guys don't know, Texas, very illegal to smoke out there. They don't like it at all. You know what I mean? Like very right wing Confederate, conservative, not Confederate, very right wing conservative state. You know what I mean? Like they don't really fuck with weed out there, and it's not, you can't even get it medicinally. You know what I mean? There's no recreational rec cards or whatever, anything, like no shops. Very illegal. So we hit up this dude. This dude's like, my younger brother is in that area, and I'm thinking like, I'm gonna see a kid, almost like a teenager, right? This dude's like, my younger brother's in the area. He can go meet up with them. All this shit happens. I meet up with this dude at this random park. I hop into his car in the passenger seat. This fool has a ski mask on. I can only see his glasses. And then I think the first question he asked me, he's like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "California." And then and I thought that was so funny. I was like a weed dealer, like from out of state. Yeah. You ask, "Where are you from?" And then if you hear California or any of the legal states, you're like, this fool, I can't bullshit this fool. You know what I mean? I can't lie to this guy. But if you tell them like, oh, I'm from here, they're gonna be like, I got some fire, bro. This is that sticky icky blueberry. And like, and you're gonna be like, oh, sick. But I told him I was from California, and then his immediate sentence after that was like, oh, this ain't that great, blah blah, but like this will get you faded for sure. And then I was like, whatever. I was like, let me just get $25 worth, and he just gives it to me in a fucking backwood wrapper. And then like after that whole experience, I was like, bro, like, that was a flashback to the early 2000s of California, you know? Mm-hmm. And honestly, I just got this idea right now. We could open up like a museum in California or in LA somewhere where like, you want to buy weed? You want to see how it was to buy weed back in the day? And we take them to El Paso.
Go to the house. You all get in a car.
Exactly.
Car.
You're all nervous. Yeah. You're like, fuck. And then you
pull up to the random house.
You're definitely not smoking inside the car. You know what I mean? Like, it just like.
There's the actor in the hoodie that just like walks out on the sidewalk.
I know exactly.
Side, like, gets in the car.
This is what it was like back in the day, bro. I remember back in the day when I used to never have weed on me. It was always a thing where I had a couple bucks. I would come to the park. I would tell my friends like, yo, I got a couple bucks on it. I would give them my money, and then like we would all go to the shop and we would all smoke together, right? And no one would ever take weed home. We would always like put our money together, smoke, and no one ever really had weed to take home. I remember later on when I was like 16, 17, at one point I had like a gram on me, and I had it like in this like shitty paper bag or whatever, and I just had it in my pocket. I was like skating around Hollywood, and I was like, fuck, I'm hungry. I'm going to go grab a burger. And I went to Astro Burger right there, right? Skate to Astro Burger, open the door, walk in. I'm standing in line. I look to my right, and I see two sheriffs sitting at a table eating, right? And then my fucking heart drops. I was like, oh my fucking God.
they're gonna smell the weed. I'm gonna get arrested, blah blah. And then I was thinking in my head like, it would be so suspicious if I just left. like I can't just walk in and then leave. You know what I mean? Like I was already faded, so all of a sudden I'm like giving myself anxiety, thinking like I can't just leave. I have to order. Like where am I gonna stay? And I'm like overthinking. I was so fucking scared that I had a gram of weed in my pocket and those two cops having lunch right there.
Not giving a fuck.
And that's how it is in El Paso. Like I bet like they have that same anxiety. Like oh fuck. Oh my god.
Yeah, there was one point where Yuri and I were smoking outside of a pizza joint, and we were like, "Oh shit!" Or like this, the delivery driver walks on. He's like, "That smells good," and we're like, "Oh fuck, we're not supposed to be smoking."
We're not in LA right now. We're in El Paso.
We're gonna get attacked. We're gonna get Karen'd.
I know. You fucking narcotic heads or some shit like that.
You
Some random
drug
lady.
addicts.
That'd be really funny.
Get out of here.
Dude, speaking of people being hella sus in front of cops, today Riley and I were driving. I forgot where we were going, but we were driving. There's a cop in front of us, right? And there's a fucking like Lexus to the right of us, and we're approaching a stoplight. And the lane I'm in, there's like 4 cars ahead of me, including the cop. So the cop has like 3 cars ahead of him. So we're way behind the light. The car to the right, there's no one in that lane. There's no one in the front, right? So the fucking cop is stopped, like there's 3 cars ahead of the cop. So the cop is like, wait, the crosswalk is right here. The crosswalk is right here. The cop is way back here. This fool in the Lexus apparently was so nervous to pass the cop that he like
The Lexus.
in the lane he just stops right behind the cop, even though he had like 100 feet in front of him.
I was like, how suspicious.
And both Riley and I were just laughing. We were like, bruh, why? Like, how scared is this fool to pass this cop that he's stopping right behind him?
I'm like, you're a sus ass person.
And then the
huh?
fucking light turns. The car could have went immediately. The cop has to wait for 3 cars to go in front of him, and then the cop could move. And this was waiting for the cop to go so he can go like behind him. And I was like, bruh, how suspicious can you make yourself, dude? Like, drive normal.
That's me as fuck.
The biggest advice I have to anyone, don't do this by the way, but if you're doing anything illegal and you're in a car,
in your car
and you don't want to get pulled over, you want to know.
Be confident.
No, 100%. You want to hear 100% truth of how to never ever get pulled over? Follow all the laws. They can't pull you over if you follow all the laws. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking from the experience of a white dude. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there might be other people who say like, no, they'll pull you over no matter what. But like in my experience, unless you have a broken tail light or headlight, if you stop for 3 seconds at a stop sign and follow all the laws, like they really have no reason to pull you over and then just like make your way away from them. But if you start like doing weird shit like that, that's how you draw attention to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, try not to speed, like, and all that shit. It's like if you follow the laws, they really will not pull you over.
Yeah. One time I got pulled over after getting drinks with my friend at this restaurant, and we were watching this basketball game that was like the playoffs that were going on because the Warriors were in the playoffs, and it was after beauty school, so we went because there was the restaurant right across the street. And I had one drink, and I'm going home, and I was underage at the time too. And these cops were following behind me, but they didn't even have their headlights on. It was dark, and I was like, what the fuck? And they put their lights on, and the cop was like, have you had anything to drink tonight? And I was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, fuck, I'm underage too.
Oh, you told him?
Yeah, and I told him where I was and shit, and he like made me get outside and do like the fucking test. And he was like, you're good to go. He's like, just be careful. And I was like, I wasn't even like swerving or anything.
He didn't put the underage drinking thing together? Thank God.
After I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that. At least he was probably respected that I was being honest.
Yeah, exactly. So. But sometimes you can't be honest, because I told you the story where me and my homie got pulled over by a cop, and the cop opens up, my homie rolls down the window. The cop's like, yo, the car smells like weed. I'm in the passenger seat, and I told the cop like, yo, my homie just picked me up from my house, and I just hotboxed a blunt. I was like, my boy right here doesn't smoke weed. I was like, you're smelling me right now, right? And the cop's just like, what do you like? He's like, I'm cool, dude. Just let me know. You guys smoked, and I'll let you guys go. And then we're thinking in our heads like,
that's weird.
If you're just gonna let us go, why do you want to know if we smoked? You know what I mean? So basically, we had to continue with the story that only I smoked. He put us in the back of the car, did all this shit, searched the car, ended up letting us go, because you just gotta stick to the story.
Stick to your story.
Yeah, exactly. Like, stick to your story, and then wait for the lawyer if things get real fucking bad. But dude, you want to hear the worst pullover story I've had? I think I've said this before, but I don't think I gave exactly too much detail. But listen to this. So this is when I was like 18, and I used to have this younger homie who was like 16. I don't want to give any names
Yeah, no name.
because this was locked up right now. But I had this like younger homie, right? And we had this smoke shop we would always kick it at. So I'm driving, and I have this one homie. We'll call him K. I have got my homie K with me. He's sitting in passenger seat, right? So I'm driving with K. We pull up to the smoke shop to grab a Swisher, and we see our 16-year-old homie sitting outside drinking a 40, right? We go outside, buy the Swisher, say what's up to our homie, and then my 16-year-old homie is like, "Yo, Yuri, which way you headed?" And I'm like, "This way." He's like, "Bro, drop me off 3 blocks over there." And I'm like, "Nah, bro, you're drinking. I can't have an underage person, a kid drinking in my car. You know what I mean? Sorry, dude. Like, I just have to follow. Like, I'm not trying to
Good
like
for
get
you.
like. It's like I'm not against him drinking, but I just know that that's a bad situation. I was like, I'm not trying to get that crazy ass charge right now. I was like, I'm good. And then he's just like, "Come on, dude, blah, blah, whatever." I'm like, "Dude, sorry, bro. Like, I can't." And then he just ended up staying behind. Me and Kay continued. As Kay and I pull out of the parking lot, immediately I notice a fucking like a Dodge Charger tailgating me hella close, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Why is this fool tailgating me?" I smash on the gas, he smashes on the gas, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I do a couple like erratic driving maneuvers, trying to get this fool off my tail, thinking it's a random guy. And he stays on my tail, right? And then we pull up to this light where there's a couple seconds left of an orange light. Like, only one last car can make it. I slam on the gas, make this orange light. He, boom, turns on the lights. It's a undercover cop car. Fucking goes through the red light and pulls me over. And I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then at this point, I always had a dabbing rig in my cup holder, a torch, and like all this wax everywhere, because every time I got in traffic I would just take a dab. So I always had my shit laid out, right? And I would never get pulled over, so I never had to worry about that shit. So I get pulled over randomly. I'm trying to fucking put the shit away, but these fools like pull up next to us and hop out instantly, like pull up to the doors. And then like I fucking like try to pick up my knee and like put my hand trying to hide my bong and shit. And the dude looks in, sees the bong, and he sees me trying to hide it. He's like, "Stop trying to hide it. I ain't worried about that." And I was like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Get out of the car, blah blah." Takes me out of the car, fucking takes my homie out the car, and like my homie at the time was doing some crazy shit, right? And they were, I guess, just onto my homie, investigating him or still doing some shit. And he was just my friend I grew up with, so I would just like hang out with him, right? And then the cop takes me to the side. He's like talking to me. He's like, "What's up with your other friend at the liquor store? Why didn't you pick him up?" And I was like, "Damn, they even saw that." And I was thinking, like, I'm so glad I didn't pick up him, because that would have been such a big fucking deal, right? So I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like what kid or whatever." Like, I was just acting stupid. And then they basically just searched my whole car. Dude, this is the deepest I've had it was embarrassing, bro, because it was right next to my high school, and they like flipped my car inside out. They took all the rugs out, everything in my trunk. I had hella shit in my trunk. They took everything, put it on the sidewalk.
This was at night?
No, it was in the middle of the day, and we're like looking through everything, didn't find anything. Told me like, "Why are you hanging out with this fool?" And I'm like, "Dude, like we grew up together. Like, what are you talking about?" And they were like, "Don't hang out with him. He's bad news, blah blah." And they were just like, didn't find anything to get us in trouble and let us go. And I had to spend an hour fucking putting all my shit back in, like putting all my rugs back in and everything. They like fucking flipped my car inside out. But I was just like, bruh, that shit was crazy.
They don't give a fuck.
Undercover cop.
They be lurking.
Dude, that's why, like, yeah, you gotta make those decisions, dude. Like, I had a hell of those moments where I was one of the first homies in my group of friends to get a car, and it's like I had hella of those moments where, "Yo, put on your seatbelt." What the fuck did you mean put on your seatbelt, bro? If cops are more likely to pull over a car where they see you're not wearing a seatbelt. You want to hear another rule that's even more extreme than my homie would follow? Is if you ever got into my homie's car, another dude, he would never let you wear a hoodie. If you were wearing a hoodie, he'd be like, "Take it off." If you're wearing a beanie or a hat, he'd be like, "Take it off." Because for some reason, cops, you do notice that they do tend to pull over people with wearing hats, beanies, and hoodies. For some reason, hats, beanies, and hoodies seems shiesty or sus or something like that. So if you just have like a plain old head or whatever, you're less likely to get pulled over. If you have a seatbelt on, you're not breaking the rules. You're less likely to get pulled over. And I remember my homies would sometimes get mad at me for like following all these stupid rules, but that shit fucking helps if you're trying to smoke and drive. You know what I mean? Like, or do other shit that you shouldn't be doing, to be honest. But yeah,
That's very true.
you know what's funny too is one time I'm driving with my homie, and there's a cop right next to us. Or I think a cop in front of us. And we see a car drive next to us with the car full of dudes, like one guy in each seat, and like 3 of them are wearing fucking snapbacks. And then as they pass by, my homie's like, "Watch." He's like, "This cop's about to pull him over because they're all wearing hats." And I'm like, "What?" Like they didn't even do anything, right? They drive past him a little bit, boop, and the car fucking pulls him over. And it's like I was like, "Yo," it's like it just shows, bro. Like for some reason, there's like these little clothing things that you can wear.
Car full of guys, young guys.
That too, yeah, exactly. But all wearing snapbacks. Suspicious.
Attack of the fuckboys.
Really? Either way, I think the last thing we should talk about is our shirts, the 10 Talks Harmonious Gang shirts. Basically, they're still available. The link is in my Instagram bio. I'm not sure if it's in Riley's Instagram bio. The link is also in the YouTube description as well. The shirts will be available on the 23rd. We already placed, for everyone that has ordered a shirt already, we already placed the order for the shirts. So we're waiting about a week to receive all the shirts, and then we'll be shipping them out. So you guys should receive them in like less than a week and a half.
Yay.
And then whoever orders a shirt from now on, you guys will probably receive it from within a month or two, like it says on the website. But just want to give you guys an update on the shirts and everything. Huge thank you to everyone who's decided to purchase the shirt because it means a lot.
It really means a lot. I can't wait for everybody to get them.
Oh, yes.
And see the reaction.
That's what I was going to say.
Because Yuri was like getting pissed off about it, and I was like, wait till you see everybody get them and like be hella happy. You're going to want to make more. You're going to want to do something else.
For anyone that has ordered a shirt, thank you guys. And also, please, when you guys get the shirt, take a picture of yourself with the shirt on, or if you guys don't want to, have your face on camera, just take a picture of you guys holding the shirt. I want to repost every single person who bought a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's really cool. It's like it's that shit Ass Pizza's talking about. It's like it's cool to see that something you made, it's like all these people now got it in their hands, you know what I mean? Like they get to like rock it or whatever. Josh Coates says he's never taking it off.
He better make a bunch of TikToks.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to send him a replacement within a month or something like that, if that's his like go-to daily shirt. But either way, I think we got through everything. Fuck Skeet Davidson.
Skeet Davidson. Oh my god, bro.
He's done nothing wrong, to be honest. I just never liked the guy, and Riley likes him.
Skeet.
Why? Why Skeet? Is it because you guys feel bad for him because of his dad?
No, I think he's just funny.
Wow, it's the funny guys. He's not even funny, though. Comedians call out Skeet Davidson for being unfunny on SNL.
I think he's funny.
Really? Oh, my God.
The Justin Bieber roast was hilarious that he did. That was, like, his claim to fame, I feel like.
I don't think he's too funny. Either way,
Anywho's
a little bit of after show, just so we can read the chat for, like, 5 or 10 minutes.
Sure.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up the show right now. We're not gonna end the live stream like always. We're gonna continue the live stream into an after show, but we're gonna wrap up the actual podcast right here. Wait, let's just wrap it up real quick.
Oh yes.
If you guys can, please drop a like. It helps the YouTube channel so fucking much if you guys just click that like button, because it really helps make sure that you guys get all the notifications for every time we do anything on this YouTube channel, and it also it helps promote the YouTube channel to anyone else. If you guys can, leave a comment, not in the chat, but in the comment section. You would have to wait until we end the live stream. But yeah, leave a comment saying literally anything, any random word. That helps a lot as well. Maybe leave your opinions on any of the shit that we talked about, so we could probably like get a second opinion and maybe talk about it again. And we'll definitely reference you if we do that. Then also subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry for the weird start in the beginning, but it's just been a stressful past couple weeks and everything. I don't know, just in general. But yeah. Either way.
Came through.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We love you.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, boom. Now, guys, thank you so much to everyone who donated during the stream. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna open up. Riley's gonna go use the bathroom. While she's gonna go use the bathroom, I'm gonna open up. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm gonna open up the chat a little bit bigger so we can both see it, and then also I'm gonna read all the donations that you guys donated during the thing. Thank you guys so much for that, by the way. Let me also wait. Can we go to stream? Oh, there we go. Yes. Let me get rid of this though.
because I don't think I want to take any shots today or dabs, to be honest. But let's do that. Good episode. Thank you so much. I'm Not Human. I appreciate that, man. Great show. I appreciate that. Community clips. Oh, we got community clips in here. What the fuck? Shout out to you guys, bro. What a great relationship that is. I heard about. Shout out to community clips, bro. That's crazy. Thank you guys, man. Great show. I appreciate that. Have you ever gone to Do Tour? No, I haven't. I would. Do they still do it? But I would not be against it. That sounds like a fun thing to do. What's up, DJ Charmstrong? All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna open up the donations to see what people have been saying. But also, I don't exactly remember how to get to this portion, so sometimes it takes me a second. I think it's through here. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, there we go. Yes, I think this is it. Okay, so how do we? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Oh wait, let's wait for Riley to get back out here. So until we read all of these, there's the super chats, and then let's open up anything else that came in through Streamlabs. How was your bathroom break? Great. Mm-hmm. You want to describe it to us?
Refreshing.
Was our bathroom clean?
Yes.
You think Black China would use our bathroom?
No.
No? It's not that bad. Don't lie.
I don't think it's Black China approved.
That's cap. How could our shit not be Black China approved? Okay, I think this is so weird, dude. It does this every single time. All right, whatever. Let's just go straight to these. Okay, so Apex Angel donated $5. He said it gets wild out here in Texas. Fuck, I would not doubt that. Wayman, Mr. Postman donated $15. Thank you so much, Wayman. He said, shout out gang, saludos from San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to fucking Texas. Shout out to Wayman, Mr. Postman. Thank you so much for that, dude.
Mr. Postman.
Estranged Joya donated $5. Thank you so much. He said, y'all should watch Holy Mountain. That's a movie? Yeah, I'm down. We should remember that.
Holy Mountain.
Juza Huza or JH Juza Gomez donated $2. Thank you so much. He said, will you ever post 10 Talks on Spotify again? Yes, we will. I keep saying that we're going to do that. We will, but I'm not going to give you guys exactly a time frame because I don't want to be held accountable to it because I'm going to do it as soon as we can. But yes, we will upload to Spotify and SoundCloud again. But at the same time, it's going to be at a point where the episodes are going to be late because right now the point, like I said, is to build our YouTube up. And I feel like if we like diversify our content too much, then we're going to get less views on YouTube, which will look bad on the algorithm. It's not going to promote us as much or whatever. So I feel like it would be better if we grow the YouTube as much as possible for now, and then once we get to a stable point, then we could be like, all right, we have this content available as well on SoundCloud, Spotify, all that stuff as well. Because I doubt that we'll blow up as a podcast on Spotify or Apple Music. Who knows, though? How's that happen, though? Do people just go on Spotify or Apple Music trying to listen to random shit?
Reviews on iTunes.
I know. You know what was surprising is that at the end of the year, I saw people posting on their Spotify that we were their most listened to. And I was like, we only have 15 episodes up. Did you guys listen to the same episodes over and over again? Like, that's very dedicated.
I know.
Okay, let's open up the chat. Wait, what the fuck?
Wait, what?
Super Bowl always rigged. Okay, so I know your family's into this. Who's your family rooting for?
Probably
Were they all rooting for the same team?
I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea who they were rooting for, honestly.
What about
They're
Roman?
probably rooting for the Bengals because the guy from my high school plays on the Bengals.
Bengals is what area, though?
Chicago? I don't know. I have no idea.
What's up, Jeremy Jimenez? People are saying Matt and Gabe said Super Bowl was fake as fuck. Like, you're saying it's rigged? Now Rams full?
LA.
Oh, LA Rams. Oh, but do Bay Area really fuck with LA that much that they're gonna root for their?
No.
Yeah.
My family's Raiders.
The Kanye McDonald's commercial. Did you hear about that? There was a Kanye McDonald's commercial,
really?
But it was leaked before the halftime was even done.
I heard there was a Kim and Pete Davidson commercial too.
Oh no!
I heard. I actually want to watch the halftime show. I heard it was so good.
You think it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
I bet 500,000 on Bengals. Help me, Yuri. Oh my god, I cannot help you, Diego. I'm sorry about that. It was cool, Rams, but it was a boring as fuck. 100% rigged. All American sports are Super Bowl more fake than WWE. Dude, a lot of people are very upset with what fucking happened in the Super Bowl. The Raiders is Las Vegas.
Yes, but they used to be Oakland.
I lost 20K, but my dick still work. Damn.
See, this is why you don't gamble, y'all.
That's what dude, imagine what you could have used that 500K on or 20K on other than those two things. Yes, watch it on YouTube. Yo, should we talk about what dinner we're going to make?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm
Me
hungry.
too. So basically, Riley took me to Erewhon today. And honestly, I've heard a lot of like jokes about Erewhon where it's just like, oh, it's the fancy place where it's like they have unnecessarily expensive shit, right? We were walking through the aisles and it's not a place where we could probably afford to shop
Every day.
You know what I mean? But I was looking at the stuff and I was like, I like this because it has more of a selection of specific little items. You know what I mean? Very healthy, specific items that I was just like, oh, well, like I see why this is cool because it has like all these like on the brands you don't see anywhere else, and like all these like I forgot exactly what some of the items were, but they had like all this shit that I've never seen before at Ralph's, you know what I mean, or something like that. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Like you get to experiment with different things that you could probably just order off online, you know what I mean, maybe. But that's like a fresher way of getting it. Like I know I kind of liked it.
I like it. I love Erewhon.
What happens if you get an Erewhon account though? Is it cheaper?
I think you get like rewards or like sales.
It's kind of like having a Ralph's account.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you have
okay.
to pay for it. Monthly, I think.
Monthly? No, we're not going there that often.
They tried to convince me when I used to work by there.
Oh, I know. They tried to convince us today. They were like, do you have a thing?
They're like, it's worth it if you spend this much. And I'm like, oh my god, I kind of do.
How much
but
were you spending?
I don't know. Their fucking lunches there are so expensive.
Dude, I'm not surprised.
But it's so good.
Can I talk about my frustration with them, though?
What?
Riley and I were looking at the meat section, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
what we're looking for, what we're going to cook after we end the stream is we got 2 Wagyu beef New York steaks. It was $50 for 2. And honestly, if we went to a restaurant, that would be like $80 per person type shit. So I was like, that seems like a good thing. It's our anniversary. So we're like, we should do it just because I feel like, yeah, it's a special day. And that seems delicious. But, bruh, I see the New York steaks. And then, like, you know, like when you grab anything from a slot in a grocery store, you grab one item that the rest are supposed to push in perfectly. I grab this one item and I bring it straight to my hands to look at it. And as I look at it, like all these fucking other steaks start falling everywhere. Like 20 steaks fell on the floor and I'm just like
so
throwing them back up. And I'm just like, bruh, I'm like, why the fuck do they have it? It's like a trap. You grab one steak and you got 20 flying in your face, dude. Like, no, that's illegal or some shit, dude. I don't know. I got very upset.
Yeah, that was stupid. But shout out Erewhon.
Stupid fucking Erewhon grocery delivery system, wherever the hell it was.
Some Wagyu.
You're going into Karen mode, bro. Imagine you guys grabbed went to 7-Eleven and
Here
grabbed.
is the male Karen.
Imagine you grabbed one drink. And like as you grab this drink trying to close the thing,
Yeah,
like a bunch of other drinks fall out. You're like, dude, who designed this shit?
LMAO, that's illegal.
What time is dinner? 11 p.m. basically.
Probably like 12.
You think so?
10.
You think it's gonna take that long?
No, maybe
Yeah.
11.
Steak is fast.
But I'm gonna make potatoes.
Have we been chilling it or is it in the fridge?
It's in the fridge.
Oh shit. All right. So guys, I think where's the manager, Yuri? I know. I honestly was hoping a worker would come and help or some shit. But either way, guys, we're going to end the stream right here. Thank you guys so much for putting up with my shitty attitude in the beginning and my bad vibes.
It's all good.
Thank you guys for joining this podcast, for watching once again. Thank you so much to all the new viewers. We've really been growing and it's fucking insane. And it means so much. And it's so, you know, I guess the most proper word is like it's just satisfying, like, and good feeling to see that like, oh, like this shit is growing. People are enjoying the content. You know what I mean? Like they fuck with what the fuck is going on. So thank you guys so much for everything, for fucking with us, for watching everything. Like, comment, subscribe.
I agree. It's really exciting.
Happy anniversary, 2 years together. We should have
2 years,
talked about
I
that.
know. That's okay.
Oh, we didn't even talk about it even a little bit. We even bring it up.
We could talk about it next week.
What we did. We gotta do something.
We're doing something tonight.
True. All right.
We're gonna make a nice dinner.
Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
2 years together today. What a coincidence that I fell on a Sunday. Because it was like a Thursday when we got together 2 years ago? Or like a Wednesday, right? It was like in the middle of the week.
It was on a Friday, right? I think it was on a Friday.
You're going to check?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Let's see what day it was when I asked Riley to be my girlfriend. I was so nervous. Would have been such a good conversation, dude.
It was a Saturday. Wait, no. It was a Friday.
It was a Friday. Dang. Okay, we definitely got to talk about this. We got to put this in the notes for the next week's episode. Okay. We got to talk about I don't know, just our 2 years together. How the fuck it's been? Okay. Everything we've learned so far.
I'm down.
All right, thank you guys.
Love y'all.
You're finna pop a blue chew? No.